So, I'm Sidel, and I can't remember the date that I posted the word crank on Vicki Bentley's post. That must have been on Instagram. Or TikTok, one of the two. No, TikTok, that's right. Because she is a crank. She's a fraud. And she charges exuberant amounts of money to fleece people so she can live this lifestyle of a fraud with the ghost tours and all this absolute nonsense. Anyway, and I thought nothing of it, right? Like, I just literally put one word and moved on. And then I was on another video on TikTok and Sebastian popped up. And I had no idea what was going on, because why would I? And why would I know who Sebastian Clement is? Because it wouldn't make any sense. Because I put one word and carried on with my life, because that's what adults do. And he'd put that initial weird comment asking if I was okay because no one had liked my comment, which means that Sebastian needs likes, attention, comments and interaction because he's lonely and an immigrant in America. He's an immigrant in America, so ICE will be really interested in this and this behaviour, won't they? And I asked him repeatedly what was going on and he wouldn't answer me. He just got more and more abusive. So I looked at his account and saw he had a girlfriend called Vicki Bentley, and I put a comment where she's saying that he's the best boyfriend, and which is doubt, you know, we can all now doubt that because he's into dead babies, which is really weird, isn't it, for a grown man? And he got more angry over this. So she's obviously spoken to him about me saying that she's a crank, which we can now see is a complete fact. And it all kind of spiraled from there. So Sebastian spent an exuberant amount of time setting up loads of accounts. He set up a Facebook account called Roth Chili, and I'm a victim of rape, domestic abuse. That person tried to kill me. And I went through court for a very long time and I won, and he confessed everything that I've said. He's confessed everything. And he wrote a confession and published it online, and that was used against him in court, and he was found guilty of writing that. He was found guilty of everything that I've said that he's done to me. But Sebastian really, really got a massive burner, massive hard-on for me. And I'm going to tell you to the extent of really how badly Sebastian Clement and Vicki Bentley are fucked up. Trying to, I don't know what. Because there was nothing to be gained. I just put one word and this is how they react. So imagine if you did something really bad, or you had a fallout, or you left a really bad Airbnb review or Trustpilot review or Google review even. What would happen? So he'd obviously been working in the background, and he stole this company's, I don't know whether they're Indian or Pakistani, photos. Well, Google image reverse exists, Sebastian Clement. So he must have sent me hundreds of follow requests to my Instagram, because he set up an Instagram. But he didn't just like set up an account. each photo had a massive kind of bio. The bio was big. It took me literally 1 second to Google image those photos to realise that he'd stolen someone's entire business. And these guys are rich. These guys are fucking filthy rich. So I told them. Anyway, so let's start at the beginning. Sebastian had found various TikToks of mine, my Facebook. My Instagram is set to private. My Facebook has what looks like all of my personal life as public on Facebook, and even though there is public stuff, you can still set things to your friends, and obviously you can't see that. So he set up an account called Roth Chili, because the guy that abused me was from a place called Rotherham in England, South Yorkshire in England. But his mother originates from Chile. And he sent me a friend request with that, a direct friend request, and he set up an account called Sidel Hull Myers. Myers isn't my actual real last name, but I come from a place called Hull, that's in East Yorkshire in England. So he thought he was being really clever, and he'd obviously Googled. Anyway, we need to go right back. So Sebastian has this girlfriend, Vicki, right, and he's telling me that he loves me. He loves me, but he's got a girlfriend. He loves me, but he's an immigrant in another country. And then he tells me that they both love me. What a If you're upset or you're angry, why would you not just say, hey, I saw this comment and it upset me, or angered me, or made my girlfriend feel belittled? But what he did instead was tell me that they both love me. I don't need love from a wannabe pedo who obsesses over dead babies, because what on earth would make you think that? Anyway, so he was requesting over and over and over all these accounts. My my TikTok is set to private. I use TikTok quite a lot. I love TikTok, it's a great platform. So after obviously the first time I rejected it, it was just to keep me in suspense, or like some kind of attention thing, I don't know, because obviously Sebastian is used to rejection, which is why he's ended up in another country as an immigrant, because no one in his own country wants him. He'll soon find out, won't he? So when he gets hiked out of America, oh, it's all there, isn't it? Because like Meta is in America, so they can just go to the police, and the police can go to the social media apps and find out exactly where it all came from, and then question you. And decide from there what they're going to do, because how are you going to explain that? So I have like a few accounts, and one of them is a project that I run that helps domestic abuse victims, that helps rape victims, that helps people that are possibly still in the situation of domestic abuse. So my podcast is obviously good because they can listen to it and it not be traced. So they can listen to advice, or, you know, just find a common ground. He's listened to my podcast as well. You mentioned that. Thanks for the listen. But my podcast is doing really, really well, and my Facebook is Sidel Myers, and if you look at the pin post at the top, it has all the stats from last year of how successful the podcast is and how well it's doing, and it gets better each year, and it's very successful irrespective of what anyone thinks. And the ratings are poor because people like Sebastian on Spotify go and put a rating. But if you look at the stats that come from Spotify, I'm on this platform that a lot of Spotify and other podcasters use, where we have forums and we can talk to each other that no one else can get to. And my podcasts gets posted to other platforms because of that platform that I upload my podcast to. And Sebastian went on Google and found about 5 people that had posted about me without knowing any context or any of the background. And those are slowly disappearing because Google have deemed those slanderous and that Google could get in trouble for putting those on Google. So that's interesting, isn't it? Because if they weren't real, if they were real, they wouldn't get removed from Google, would they? But anyway, Sebastian didn't really care about the context of these other people or what may or may not have happened. He just thought that he could use it against me, and he failed. He failed miserably. So he got more and more frustrated, and then this account on Instagram requested me. Sebastian requested me over and over and over hundreds of times. Anyway, I put a comment on one of the videos and he was like saying, 14 years ago, my baby son died, and Sebastian wanks over my dead son. He masturbates, he gets a massive fucking erection over a dead baby. So I don't need to go into the ins and outs of it, but I was featured on, you know that page, there was a page on Facebook called Humans of New York. Well, I was featured on Humans of Hull. So it wasn't my post, Sebastian. I didn't post that. Humans of Hull did, like Humans of New York do. And I was asked about something. And back then, my blog became huge and I had millions of readers and I became a published writer. So I have an agent and I have access to worldwide media. Sebastian, what did you do? What did you do, Sebastian? You fucked up, that's what you did. So I became a published writer and lots of nice things happened to me and subsequently have since. And I've been given many, many opportunities to do wonderful things that the average person wouldn't get to do. And my cat is crying. Anyway, he told me that I'd hurt my dead son and that my dead son doesn't forgive me. Now, I'm not going to go into how my son passed away because Sebastian will probably knock one out and have a wank over it because he's a sicko. With Vicki, he'll probably fuck Vicki and talk about a dead baby. Sounds about right, doesn't it? Like, sicko. Because who in their right minds would think that using a dead baby, my baby, and I've been to therapy and dealt with that, so I can talk about it with ease. It takes a man, it's always a man, isn't it? He was saying that he knows my precise location to try and frighten me. You're not even in this country, Sebastian. You're an immigrant in another country, running away because your own country doesn't want you. And that he was saying that my son was in hell. My baby who passed away was in hell. I don't even know how you would come to that kind of mindset that you would tell a stranger that their baby is in hell. How are you going to explain that to ICE, Sebastian? How are you going to explain that a woman put one word and you did a deep dive and pretend that you're talking to a dead baby that's apparently in hell? How are you going to explain that? So he then set up a page called Sidell Hull Myers, and I obviously didn't know anything about it till he started posting photos of myself to my comments. He put loads and loads of comments with photos on this Roth chili page. And then started liking my stuff with like Sidel Hull Myers, and was urging people to go to Humberside Police about me. So he'd use my name and my photos, which is completely illegal. To try and persuade people to go to the police about me. Now, the people that he'd tried to use against me to try and make me look bad were not innocent, and one in particular got in loads of trouble because she went to the police and lied, and she had no evidence to back up what she said. But because we'd had a to-do online, I'd screenshot everything, and I'd got evidence against her, and it got her in a lot of trouble. So you see, everything's not like this. It's not black and white. Oh, what? How ironic. Anyway, so he quickly shut down Sidel Hull Myers, but I got the IP address of that account. And the Indian account that he set up, or Pakistani, he was saying that he was in Iceland, and then he was saying he was in Chile. And then when you looked at it, it showed the location as America. And all these accounts were set up in this year and of that month, which I think is this month or last month. February, March. I can screenshot it all. And Sebastian was like, it's going to get worse for you. Where? Where did it get worse for me, Sebastian? Where did it get worse? He thought that using my son who passed away against me was the worst thing that he could possibly do. And I love that they think that they've won something. But what an underestimation, Sebastian. You are the thickest fuck I've ever come across. Because that was like 14 years ago. It happened. There are far worse things. And what I love about oh yeah, he said that he lived in Rotherham and that he knows my son that's alive. Sebastian, you've never been to Rotherham. So he was threatening my son that's alive. He was threatening me, saying that he knows my exact location. And I wrote a review on Trustpilot, and Vicki hadn't claimed the website, but she did. And initially she wrote a response. But then she closed her website down for a really long time. And instead of it being Thriving, what was it? Thriving Heart Company? It's now Thriving Heart Co. Which I've done a screenshot of, so she changed the name because she didn't want to be associated with the abuse that her partner, I don't know whether they're married, I mean that's insignificant, put. She wanted us to run away from it. So she also owns this Airbnb, the Longer House. So she has various scams going, one including ghost hunting, the paranormal, and all this life coaching shit. And she's online and she wants to be pure and look wholesome with a boyfriend that's into babies.